Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow. Now I thought today I'd take you to Vkusno I Tochka, or what was McDonald's, but this one right behind me is quite unique. Let's go and check it out, shall we? The reason I brought you to this specific location is for a really interesting reason. And if you're not aware of what happened in Russia around about 2 years ago, all of the McDonald's locations throughout the entire country closed. There was 850 locations that closed the doors. Everybody essentially went home. They were actually still paid for the entire duration of the period they were closed until they were bought out by what is now Vkusno I Tochka, or tasty and that is all. There's quite a few different ways of explaining the name of the place. Now, the reason I've come to this one is because this one was never actually a McDonald's. This is a completely brand new location, and it's been open for only 1 month. And of course, everybody thought, 1 year later, 2 years later, that all of these would be gone and closed and they would never be popular. And they're actually expanding and opening new locations throughout Russia. So I thought it was only appropriate that I come and see what a brand new Vkusno I Tochka looks like. Let's slowly head on inside, shall we? The location is actually quite interesting because there's actually a brand new shopping center here as well called Siesta, which means sleepy or taking a nap. And I think based on where I am here, this is very much a sleepy micro district in Moscow. Lots of apartments around, lots of new apartments as well. And this is a very new area of Moscow. You can see here these buildings have only been here maybe a year or two at the most. And what we want to see is this brand new Vkusno I Tochka. Have a look outside, they've even got a swing as well. Don't imagine too many people are sitting outside eating their burger and fries today. You can see from this angle the shopping center just off behind the restaurant. And there is actually a food court up on the second level that has a Rostix, which was KFC. And they had every opportunity to be in the shopping center because there's quite a lot of space is still available. It's a brand new location and shopping center. They decided to build a standalone restaurant. They've actually also got a 2-lane drive-through as well. You can see the snow here. It's always so interesting to see it in winter time when you're so used to seeing it around the world in summer. And what are they advertising on that first screen? The kids meal, which used to be called a Happy Meal, but now it's just called a kids meal. On the door heading on inside, there's a couple of interesting signs. One is the opening hours, and this particular location is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. till midnight. Not too many hours it's closed. But the actual drive-through is 24 hours a day. So you could just literally pop around the corner. And if you're interested in a job, so many people ask me about salaries and what's the salary in Russia. If you want to work here at Vkusno I Tochka, 65,000 rubles a month. So around about $650, which is well above the Russian average salary. I'm going to briefly walk around the restaurant and then we're going to order a big hit meal, which used to be the Big Mac meal. And we're going to do a bit of a tasting. Now, of course, this video might run a little bit longer, and that's pretty much a normal thing on most of my videos on the channel. So please, if you want to skip ahead to me just eating the burger, find that location in the video and do that. Otherwise, enjoy this walk around. What I really want to point out though is the look and feel of the restaurant and how possibly similar it looks to McDonald's. And of course, this is a brand new location, so they didn't just take the sign down, put a new sign up, and then open and start trading. This is 4 weeks old, this particular location. It is actually a little bit chilly outside today, so it'll be nice to warm up. There is actually a double door here, and the heaters are blowing very nicely, and it's very warm, even just in the entrance. As we come on inside, I think everybody is going to be enjoying a nice dinner or maybe late lunch, depending on what time you come in here. And I'm actually a little bit hungry myself, so I'm ready to get myself a burger and enjoy a big hit, fries and a drink. The one sign that's definitely drawn my attention is the 99 ruble sign, or what would be around about $1. So there's the cheeseburger, looks like the fish burger, nuggets, maybe this is a cherry pie, or fries. So they've got a dollar menu here at Vkusno I Tochka. It's really super interesting, especially for me, to come to a brand new location and not coming just to a rebadged McDonald's. And this is literally a month old, so it's nice to actually come and see what they've done, where they built their own restaurant and not relied on what was already here in the past. One of the things that was very noticeable from back 2 years ago when Vkusno I Tochka first opened was they didn't have the cafes in place. And since then they have, and depending on the location you go to, they're bigger or smaller. And of course this is a brand new Vkusno I Tochka. And they have the cafe right here. And of course you can actually order your normal meal from this location as well. Have a look at the nice cakes. Please tell me, around the world, when you go to a McDonald's, do they have cheesecake looking like this? Or maybe chocolate cake, or even macaroons down there? How nice do they look? Also, with this location being in the suburbs of Moscow, I didn't expect it to be very big or very busy with people. And I would imagine most people that are here live in the nearby micro-district and the apartments that we saw nearby the shopping center as well. Across the highway there's also more apartments. So a lot of people probably very happy this opened so recently. This might be interesting for some people. This is actually a board advertising for staff and employees, and you can take a brochure if you want to learn about getting a job here. And some of the statistics are quite interesting. Of course, I actually pointed this out at the very beginning of the video. There's 850 locations. There's more than 62,000 employees across all of Russia. And this is the most interesting one here. They've got 30 plus years of experience. Now, if you're aware of what happened where McDonald's left and Vkusno I Tochka came to Russia, that's less than 2 years. And I like how they're using the 30 years of experience, because pretty much every person that was working for McDonald's now works for Vkusno I Tochka, and they've literally brought all experience over to these restaurants. I thought I'd give the self-checkouts a try and see if I can navigate my way around. I think it's fairly straightforward. The burger right there that I want. The one thing they do have, they've got different languages for the menu. Of course, I'm going to choose to dine in. Now, let's have a look. Now, the one thing that's quite important, this looks exactly like what McDonald's had. Now, the only subtle differences are going to be things like the drinks, because if we press the drinks menu, there is no Coca-Cola, but there is Dobra Cola, which was previously Coca-Cola, produced in the same factory. Of course, it's not Coca-Cola though, but it's from the same factory. They do have a Lipton iced tea. Anybody likes that as an option. There's a few other things here. A super box. Check this out. You get a whole lot of different things for only about $3. A super box. When we go through the rest of the menu here, pretty much most things were how they were before. Instead of fries, they're called potatoes and potato wedges. Grand fries, which is really just fries. Let's have a look at the new menu items. So there's two different super boxes. So you get a little gift and a dessert. The Scandinavian chicken burger. That sounds pretty interesting. The big chicken burger. Cheese rings. A Norwegian berry pie. So many very interesting types of desserts. Let's have a look. What else do we have here on the dessert menu? Okay, we saw some of those. Pastries, maybe a croissant, ham and cheese ciabatta. Oh, tuna ciabatta. I thought I came here to a burger restaurant and there's hardly any burgers on the menu. Now, I think somewhere here has to be the classic menu items. Let's see. Burgers and wraps. Here we go. So instead of fillet of fish, it's now just called a fish burger. And I'm not too sure what these wraps used to be called. I never had them before. Also shrimps as well. Now I'm going to go for the combo. And where is the big hit? Just here. Now this is quite important depending on where you live in the world to compare prices. This would be a classic Big Mac meal. And here it's 319 rubles. So around about $3.40 at the current price. So we're going to go for one of those. We have options. Instead of getting fries, we can get a salad. Caesar salad, these are extras of course. We're just going to go for fries. Now, I'm not a big lover of the sauces. No sauce. Let's select the drink. So you can actually even get orange juice as well if you didn't want just the regular sodas, also teas and coffees. Cold drink. Let's go for the classic Dobro Cola. And that's pretty much all we've got to do. And 319 rubles. The one thing that's really cool when you come to Vkusno I Tochka is they have table service. And all I've got to do is choose my number here, 34, key it in, press enter, and I won't actually have to go and collect my meal. All I've got to do is pay for it now, so I'm just going to tap my card and I'm ready to go. So you have to let me know where you are in the world. Does your local McDonald's, oh, of course this is Vkusno I Tochka, have table service? So all I've got to do now, instead of go to the counter and collect my meal, I just need to go over to my table right here, put my sign down on the table, and within a few minutes, they're going to come with my meal. Now I barely found my seat, and they're already here with my meal. Thank you so much. And we're going to sit down now and try the big hit together. You know, from my last tasting video that I did at Vkusno I Tochka, I got a lot of comments and feedback that the video was too long. I was taking too long to eat the burger, and it's already 25 minutes and we've not even seen you eat the food yet. So I thought I'd try to do this a little bit quicker and a little bit more streamlined. Now, the first thing I'm going to point out is the price. Now, I talked about this a little bit earlier. 319 rubles is for the big hit, medium fries and medium drink, which is pretty much the classic meal that you could get here at Vkusno I Tochka, or you could get if you went to a McDonald's somewhere else in the world. And just about $3.50 in US dollars, or let's say around about €3.50 depending on where you are in the world, and you get this meal. Please tell me and put it in the comments what you're paying for a classic Big Mac meal where you live and how it compares in the price. Of course, there's a lot of factors in pricing in the world, but I'm just curious what you're paying compared to what I'm paying. So I thought I'd sort of edit and chop and change little parts of the video so that it's just not long and, you know, the unedited version. But first, let's give the drink a try after talking for quite a few minutes. And the one thing that somebody talked about in the original video going back more than a year ago, there was no packaging or branding, but you can see quite safely now everything's got the logos on and all the words of the product. So Dobro Cola is a cola that's produced in the factory that was making Coca-Cola. And while Coca-Cola was available in Russia, it was produced at the exact factory where this is now being produced from. Is it the same as Coca-Cola? I mean, I don't think it's exactly Coca-Cola. But when you have it like this with ice and a straw, like you'd have at any restaurant like this, I think it's very, very close. So the fries are the one thing that I think a lot of people yardstick the taste of McDonald's by, and what Vkusno I Tochka stands for. And of course, the potatoes are the kind of key thing to what these taste like and how they taste. And for me, these taste very good. A little bit salted, it's not over salted. Very nice, nice and golden brown color, golden color. And the one thing that's very noticeable is the packaging doesn't have oil and grease, which is very noticeable when you get it in other countries. These are as fresh and as tasty as they really should be, right out of the fryer, right in the box, and then served right to me here on the table. I'm curious about this little hack that I'd known about for a long time. You fold open the box like this, and then you tip your fries right into the second side of the burger box. And I'm very curious, is this something that you do, or is it just me? Or have I discovered a new hack here at Vkusno I Tochka? And then right out of the box, the big hit, which is pretty much exactly what was the Big Mac. And you can see it right there. The very famous 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Does anybody know that line? Or is it just me that remembers it from my childhood? I'm curious if you know that or not. Now, the other thing I want to ask is how you eat your burger. And I got hundreds, maybe thousands of comments about me eating the burger the wrong way round. And as you take it out of the box, you eat it just like this, upside down. And is this the right way or not? Should I be taking it and turning it around and holding it like in the adverts? Or am I okay to eat it upside down? Please tell me in the comments, am I eating it wrong? Or is it because I'm from Australia and I'm down under in my mind and everything is eaten upside down? One more bite. Have a look at the sauce right there. Very, very nice. And for me, this big hit, you know, when they came up with this, they didn't break the mold of what the Big Mac was. This is a Big Mac, literally, and every part of it is exactly the same. I think even the sauce, or the special sauce, is no different. How? This is exactly a Big Mac. I mean, is it better? I think it is. I mean, personally, I think it's better. I think the fries are less oily. They're a little bit crunchier and a little bit tastier. Obviously, this is not Coca-Cola. It's Dobra Cola, which is called good cola if you actually just translate the word. And for $3.50, or whatever the exact exchange rate was, I think this is the best value you can get coming to a fast food restaurant here in Moscow. I think that everybody will have an opinion about Vkusno I Tochka, and everybody that used to go to McDonald's in Russia before they left. And you know, I'm here at a restaurant that's 1 month old. It's brand new, and the feeling inside is just like McDonald's. I mean, are they copying it? Are they replicating it? that's everybody's own opinion of what they feel when they come to this restaurant. Of course, the general crowd that we've got in this restaurant today is a little bit younger, family, children, which is really what McDonald's is all about, what I think Vkusno I Tochka has become. So, I mean, for me, this is as good or better than McDonald's. If I was to have it in Australia, if I was to have it in America and different countries that I've lived and worked around the world. And for the price, you really can't beat it. Okay, so just at the table next to me, I'm sitting here with
Vladimir.
Vladimir, very well known, famous name in Russia.
I'm glad to see you, my friends. Subscribe.
And Vladimir, I am very curious, what do you think of Vkusno I Tochka here at this location?
I think that Vkусно I Точка become better than it was when it's called McDonald's, and the food became more tasty and I think healthy too.
Healthier? Less oily, less fatty?
Oily, yes.
More tastier?
Yet more tastier, and the time of cooking decreased.
Yes. Now, of course, you were sitting right next to me. I didn't ask you questions ahead of time. This is completely off the books. Now, everybody watching and in the comments, I want you to say hello to Vladimir, and maybe if you want to see me in another video, we can maybe do another tasting in another restaurant. Maybe we can go to Rostix. Have you been to Rostix?
Rostix, I don't know what is it.
Rostix is KFC.
KFC, okay. There is a KFC there.
Right.
Siesta.
Yes. So thanks, Vladimir, and thanks for your opinion about Vkusno I Tochka.
You're welcome.
I like on the wall here, they've got this white subway tile, and then it says delicious burger. And the one that I had certainly was delicious. As I make my way outside, thought we just do one more brief pan around. And of course, a lot of people come and go at restaurants like this. For 5 minutes it can be crowded. Half an hour later, there's a few people in here. So it's just interesting to show the whole restaurant and how it looks, and just the fact that this was built as a brand new location and open only a month ago. Perhaps the planning and the building of it was a year ago. They do tend to build things in Russia very quickly, so it doesn't take very long from once they've got the land and the location for them to get that finished product and the restaurant open. As I make my way outside and back to the Russian winter cold weather, it's a little bit chilly today. It's only about -3, so it's not super cold, but you can definitely feel the difference from being inside and my jacket off to getting outside now with my hoodie and my beanie, and eventually I'll have my gloves on in a few minutes. I really want to thank you for watching this video. The entire point really of the video, along with doing the tasting of the burger and fries and drink, was to show you that Vkusno I Tochka is opening new locations, and this wasn't an existing McDonald's that they took the sign down and they changed it. This is a brand new business here in Moscow. We're actually on the outskirts of Moscow here in a very small, sleepy micro district. So I just thought it was interesting to come specifically to this location and show exactly what it looks like when they built it brand new. And as we say in Australia, it's so new the paint hasn't even dried. And it's not quite that, but it's a good analogy that we use quite often. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Perhaps post a comment. Let me know some of the similarities or differences between a McDonald's where you live and what this Vkusno I Tochka was like. Probably mostly the price difference. I think that's quite critical, and a big difference between what I would pay in Australia and what I'm paying here in Moscow. If you like to follow me on Telegram, a link will come up right now. We have over 2,000 members in the Telegram channel. It's a nice, fun, friendly group, and I post a lot of photos and things that I do on a day-to-day basis. If you want to see an old video, click a link right here. Maybe something you've not seen before. And I'm off on another adventure. Bye, everybody.